Howdy chaps, and welcome back to part 3 for the XD roof. I really didn't want this to be stretched out as far as it has, but life has been cruel. But we're gonna get this roof done and finished in this video, so help me God, we will get it done in this video. All I have to do left to the frame is quite literally fix the two front ends, coat the whole lot in some anti-rust, copper spray the edges, and test fit the roof, take it back off, clean its edges, and boom, put it on. That's all we're going to do in this video. In theory, it should be doable, but let's play it by ear and check out this. So we'll start with something pretty basic, pretty simple. You saw the other day in the last one that we got the remnants of the old, well, this piece off, and down it goes. This is ready to go on, but this isn't. We wait for a truck to go past. Here we go. So we're going to clean up in here, coat some paint in here, a little bit of copper spray here, and then what we're going to do is mask out, well, not mask out, but figure out where we're going to do the join. Probably actually right on the end of this, actually I think would be the wise idea, because it's a straight line, and then that should in theory clamp back down, weld back on, and straight forward. So what I'm going to do now, and I'm not even going to bother showing you because I don't want the video to be ages long, I'm literally going to clean up in here, coat in here, get the rest of the surface rust off, clean up these edges, and copper spray this area ready to go. And then I'll show you the trimming and the welding of this to there, and then we can put it all together. This side, stupendously simple, not difficult at all. Luckily we do have donor sections. If we didn't, well, it would have taken a hell of a lot longer. So we'll do this, and then we'll jump onto that side once this side's all done, buttoned up. The other side's going to suck more than this side. This side's pretty simple. So catch up in a second. Right, well that's in, this corner's in. It's a little on the warm side, but it is structurally solid. It's amazing how strong that is now, it's all welded together. I'm not going to weld that little guy up because that was actually remnants of the XF, which had that big bracket that went through here, so I'm not going to bother about that because that's not structural. Although mind you, knowing me, I probably will just go quickly zap that up when it's done. But now I'm going to grind down these welds, and then we can tackle the other side, which should be virtually the same, except then we got to do this bit in here. And I've actually taken out the remnants of the old gutter roof skin that was in the gutter. That was actually more difficult than you'd think, but yeah, perfectly acceptable. So effectively this whole side, once I've ground these down and coated it, is all done, ready to receive the new roof skin. And obviously once I grind these down, I'll copper spray through here, and then I'll repaint the black through this midsection. I don't know if you can't see it in there, but I did paint the black anti-rust inside there as well before I welded this back on. Actually might have seen it in the time lapse, but anyway, I'll keep on keeping on and let's see how we go. As I say in the classics, looking lovely. Ground down, copper sprayed. I didn't go too nuts grinding down those welds in there because, well, you're never going to see them at all ever. So yeah, ground down the ones that are important where the roof's going to sit on top of. It should actually technically have a slight gap, but you know what I mean. So I repainted my rust paint in there, got it in all the grooves I can. So this was all ready for the next roof to go on. I have to clean here a little bit, I spilt a bit, but that's that section done. All along here, that's that done. Across the back's done, that corner's done. So now we move everything to the other side and tackle this disaster. So yeah, that's where we're up to. I'm going to keep on keeping on and catch up in a second. Right, so I've chopped out this section that goes here, and once again, pretty rusty inside. However, where this seam was from about here that way was actually lovely and still had some E-coat on it. So I know that under that is pretty good, and anyway, there's only like that much of it left, so we'll be all right there. What we're going to do now is probably put a section in here. If not, we'll just go through here and down and across. The interesting thing, the way the factory make this is actually a weld right here. So when you look at this, the factory piece looks a bit like this, and they just weld that all the way along and down. That's how they join them together. So yeah, should be fairly straightforward. And put one in and then the other, and we'll be laughing. I won't be putting this whole piece in. This one will get sectioned in there, I reckon. I'll put sort of, I don't know, up through there and across here and maybe through here. I don't know, I'll have to play it by ear. It's a bit of a unique repair in the scheme of things, so we've got to figure it out. I think I'll just grind out this weld here and very carefully cut along there and up where it's good, and maybe through there as well. But I don't know, I'll play it by ear. I'll have a bit of a suss, but I'll catch up in a second once I figured out what I'm doing. Alrighty, so I figured out what I was up to. I've since removed that section, obviously. Now I've cleaned up through here. I've painted all my kill rust paint in there, primed. All I gotta do now is whittle this little guy down to, you know, sort of there-ish. Should be fairly straightforward. And then glue tab A to part B. So we'll get onto that. So we got this first section welded in quite well. Surprised about that actually, because when I took it apart from the other one, when you take parts apart from each other, they do tend to distort a little bit, so you got to tweak them back into the shape they were in when you go to put them back in. So I started from here and then sort of gave it an extra fold so it ended up back where it was, and then welded through here and across there and through there and all the normal places. Now all I got to do is obviously trim up some, grind down some welds there. I might do that in a second and weld this one on, and then that's all the welding done. Then tomorrow all I gotta do is just clean up everything. I reckon that'll be swell. I reckon coming along quite nicely. So I reckon I'm gonna actually leave that where that was and just trim this one down, sort of. There's no need to redo all that. That's a pretty good spot to join one anyway. So this will go like that, and it's not an exact science, but at least it'll be a good fit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to grind down these welds here and just a little bit here, and re-copper spray, and then I'm going to trim up that piece and put it there. Nice. So chaps, the bright spark that I actually managed to forget my good camera and microphone and stuff today. So the rest of this video, if it all goes according to plan, will be done on the mobile phone, which kind of sucks, but you know, you get that on big jobs. So as you would have seen, we've got this all done, because obviously this video is spread over a few days. That was done yesterday. Today it's going to do this bit and then put the roof on. So we're nearing the end. So I've just trimmed this down, it's ready to go, it lines up with all the spot welds that were there. So time to glue it in, and then we'll coat this all with the anti-rust paint, and then we'll trial fit the roof. I do have to still trim out the remnants of the old roof skin that's in the gutters, which kind of sucked a little bit on the other side, but it wasn't too bad. I've got to do it on this side, and then we can trial fit the roof for the first time. And I'm so hoping it fits. So, anyway, and because I'm plodding along stuff in the background, I have actually got my headlights redone for my ute. And I've just redone, well, not redone, I've done for the first time, the leading edge bit of trim for the bonnet, which, I tell you this, after hunting around every wrecking yard in all of Adelaide, and I mean I pretty much went to every single one that might have a fighting chance of having that piece of trim, I ended up at the Ford spare parts dealership in BS Stillwell, Regency Park, where I just bought one brand new genuine, because I just couldn't get anybody to sell me one. Nobody either could be bothered, or were willing to look, or wouldn't sell one without the bonnet attached to it. I'm like, just sell me the piece of trim, would you? But I ended up at Ford, and it was 188 bucks, but I said, could you do much better? And they're like, yeah. So I ended up walking out with it for 150, which I was okay with. I mean, it is a genuine item. It's already got all the clips on it. It's got the double-sided tape, and it just goes straight on. So all I did was plastic primed it and paint it, and that's going to go on tomorrow. But yeah, that's a bit of a ute update. Yeah, so now we're going to glue this in. So chaps, this is a pretty momentous occasion. The roof skin is trial fitted and fits perfectly. Like, really, nothing fits like a genuine part. I am absolutely astonished. It just fits everywhere. All these gaps just line up perfectly. Clamped on, dropped into the gutters. I mean, mind you, getting those gutters clean was an effort and a half, but look at that, absolutely magic. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to pull this roof skin back off, and I'm going to paint the inside with some of the anti-rust stuff, because I don't want this happening. See how these, it's like moisture's built up under here. This isn't a different roof skin obviously, but I want to paint as much of the underside of the skin with anti-rust paint as possible, so that when it goes on, it's got maximum protection underneath that skin, especially in areas like here where you just can't get to. And then actually while it's off, I'm just going to prep up all the edges and drill my plug weld holes through here. And I've got to bare metal the lip of the roof as well, because I've done the gutters, but I've got to do the roof as well, because when you put panel bond in there, it needs to be bonded to bare steel. And of course through here is just a little weld, and then you got your normal plug welds across the front. So plug welds across the front and back, a little bead across here, panel bond through there, and then we're going to paint the roof skin in a second on the underside, and then we can put it on and wrap up the video, eh? It's coming up really well. Oh, such a good relief seeing that on. And I was saying to the old boy just then, this will be the only one of these Falcons out there where you can absolutely guarantee there's no rust in the roof, because the roof skin's new, the roof's been off, and all the frame has been repaired. So this one has no rust in the roof guaranteed. But all the other ones, not sure about that. After dealing with this and many other ones for parts, I think roof rust is really common in these cars. Really, I think it's more common than not. And it's amazing. It's the difference between no visible rust and rust. You know, you can see rust, but it's what you can't see that scares me. Well, not really, it doesn't scare me at all, but it's amazing what is made. It is amazing what is hiding behind panels, which goes to say the only way to truly get one of these cars rust free is to take all the panels apart and all the skins and everything to get behind everything. So anyway, we're going to get this off, get it painted, then back on. And that'll be a nice video, I think. Righty chaps, the underside of the roof is painted with some anti-rust paint, looking lovely. Edges are copper sprayed, holes are plugged, weld ready. These edges are ready for panel bond. I've repainted the inside frame of this roof with some more anti-rust. Its all edges are ready to go. We are ready to put this roof on. The very next scene you'll see is the roof going on, or at least the end result of it sitting back in the hole, ready to go. Right, that just about wraps it up for this video for today. And the putting on of the roof. The roof is on. I've welded all four corners just lightly. I mean, where they're supposed to be anyway. It's all tucked in tight, everything fits. It's amazing how well this fits. I didn't feel like doing all the plug welds today, but the panel bonding is done, and it's welded the corner, so it's not going to come off. And that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this mini series on putting a roof skin on. This job turned out to be quite a massive job eventually. But if you think about it, how bad the roof was to how good it is now, all this is going to need is a pretty good high fill and a block, and it's done. There's going to be shouldn't be any filler going to that roof skin, which is pretty good. So yeah, we just got to plug weld those, and a couple key ones through here, and that's it. Panel bond is in, gutters are in, perfect. I mean, I know the roof skin cost the owner, you know, a small fortune, but you just can't beat a genuine part at times. And yeah, and we had to do it today because this panel bond isn't really meant for any temperatures. No extreme temperatures. Yeah, 38 degrees. It's probably going to be in the workshop getting up that temperature on Friday. So today was the day when it's nice, like 20 degrees, to put the roof on. And this is what I ended up using. So that went on all the bare metal surfaces, a good bead of it either side. Very similar stuff. Normally when a crash shop they use 3M, and I don't know why. They always seem to use that, but maybe that's just a preferred thing. But that's all I could get. So, and it works. It's not rubbish. And the roof is coated with a lot of good paint. I'm going to come through and paint all the frames eventually, but at least I know that this paint, if it ever focuses, goes underneath the roof and quite literally goes to here. on the underside. So all under where all the moisture is, it's got paint on it. And you know, some people think that Fords are designed badly and like to change them when they rebuild the cars. No, Fords aren't badly designed. They just got a bit tight when it came to putting in seam sealer and paint. They didn't do much painting. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video series. Hopefully I can piece it together to something that makes sense. And thank you for watching.